I'm going to show you here how to designate an interpreter if you are the host of the meeting and explain a couple of the possible issues you might run into. So here in my fictional meeting, I have 3 participants. This is me. I am the host of the meeting. You can also tell that by looking at the participants list, which I have open here. I opened it using the participants list button here. And I can see on my list that I am here, I am the host. I have 2 interpreters who have renamed themselves. I have Martin Bonilla, and then I have my other Spanish interpreter, Sandra Martinez. No other participants have yet arrived to this meeting. I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity right now to designate these 2 interpreters. I have previously activated interpretation in my meeting, and so I have this icon at the bottom of my screen. So I will click on that, and it will open the language interpretation dialog box. And I will start by adding an interpreter. There are no interpreters currently in this list because when I scheduled this meeting, I did not designate any interpreters. That allows me to choose any participant from the meeting and add them as an interpreter. So I will do that now. So I click Add Interpreter, and I will start by typing Martin's name. So as you can see, because MAR is in both of their names, I got both of them. So I will now choose Martin Bonilla. So he will be my first Spanish interpreter. Notice that English is already set here as the default language. It could be any language, but if English is the main language spoken on your meeting, you might as well just leave it like that. And now on the right, and this is very important, because notice right now I cannot launch interpretation. The start button is grayed out. Notice I must choose a target language. So I will choose a target language. Ta-da, I can now start interpretation. However, I'm not done yet because interpreters work in pairs. So I'm going to also add Sandra. And notice that my start button went away again. That is because I now have another interpreter in this list and I have not entered that interpreter's information. So let me go ahead and put Sandra in. So there's Sandra. And again, the start button is grayed out. Why? Because I've not selected a target language. So let's go ahead and select Spanish. There we go. So start. And now, if we look at our participant list again, I'm going to expand it so we can see it for both of them. You can see that right now, Sandra has already accepted. There is an ES after her name. She is in the Spanish channel. And now I am going to accept for Martin. And now you can see there is an ES after his name. This is how you can tell that the interpreters have accepted your invitation. Now, I am going to show you what it looks like when you are designated as the interpreter. I'm going to do this by now adding myself. I am the host, but I'm going to go ahead and add myself as the interpreter. To add an interpreter after launching interpretation or change an interpreter, you can simply click Manage Language Interpretation, and I get the dialog box again. See, we have our 2 interpreters right there. I could either type my name over theirs and replace one of them. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and let there still be 3 interpreters. So Martin, great. And now I'm going to add myself. And again, I can't update. See, I'm going to have to update, but it's grayed out. Why? Because I didn't choose a target language. So let's go ahead and choose a target language. I'm going to be a French interpreter. So now we'll have 2 languages on this meeting. Now, see, the update button is available to me because I chose the target language. So I'm going to update. And look, this is what the interpreter will see. And I have not yet selected OK. And by the way, on this meeting, people can still hear me speak even if they have not chosen the French or English channel. This is useful because this will activate the globe, but allow the person who is designated as the interpreter to explain to any listeners who are going to choose an interpreter channel how to find that channel. So this is a very useful moment before you hit OK. They will be able to see the channel options here. But they will still be able to hear the interpreter's explanation of those channels. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Notice that again, next to my name, I now have host and interpreter, but no little circle. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And now you can see there's a little French circle next to my name, FR. And if I change to English as the interpreter now, you can see how the participant list changed. Now there is EN next to my name. So French, FR, English, EN. So you can always tell what channel the interpreter is on by looking at the participant list and checking their circle, the circle next to their name. So now I'd like to show you what this looks like from a listener's perspective. To do this, I'm just going to go ahead and remove myself from this list. So I'm no longer going to be an interpreter. I will exit out and I will select update. I am now back to being a regular listener. I click on the globe. I can now choose a language channel. I have two options, English and Spanish. I don't have French anymore because French is no longer a language on this meeting. I'll choose Spanish. And now you see the globe has changed. It is now ES. If I chose English, it would be EN. If I choose mute original audio, that means I will only hear the interpreter when the interpreter is on my channel speaking and anyone else on my channel. I will not hear people who are off channel and I will not hear people who are on other channels. So choose carefully. Since I'm going to pass off hosting right now, I've just shrunk my Zoom window so that you can see what I'm doing when I make this interpreter a host. So I'm going to make the interpreter host. And now the interpreter is the host and I am not. I'm an ordinary listener. So these are the options that I now have at the bottom of my screen. You can see there are far fewer. And so if I click on this, I don't have managed language interpretation anymore. I just have English, Spanish, and off. Now, if I choose off, that's again what we would call being off channel. That person will not hear the interpreter in any language, and anyone who has chosen mute original audio will not hear a person who has selected off. So that's what that looks like. Ordinary globe, no language code, and there's a check mark next to off. Okay, so that is a basic demonstration of the interpreting channel and how to set that up and what that looks like once it is set up.